Pakistan, and grandmother Shannon CrossBear, and Ben Bowler, and Chief Looking Horse is in the room. So, welcome everyone to this circle. And Chief Looking Horse, we are so honored to be here with you today on World Peace and Prayer Day, 26th annual. Amazing journey, a long journey. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for my children and all my relations for everything you've done in your lifetime for peace and for oneness. We really appreciate you. How are you today?
Very good, thank you.
Fantastic.
Bless you all and every one of you out there.
Oh, thanks, Chief Looking Horse. We appreciate you. So, my friend, um, we want to know the whole theme of this year, of this day, of this month for us is exploring how do we build a world that works for all. And you have messages to deliver to us in regards to this. It's a very sensitive time in the world. The most part of the world is just coming to realize what's happened with our children in the residential schools, while the rest of our family knew what had happened and that there was no justice. And we love our children. We want to take care of them. We want to take care of them now and moving into the future. So, could you please talk to us about what's appropriate and not appropriate moving forward? And how can we be good relatives and walk in a good way as our Indigenous relations rise and help show us the way to take care of our Mother Earth and moving into a good future for all of us? Would that be okay if we talked about that today?
Yes, that'll be fine.
Oh, wonderful. All right. So we're here holding space with you. All right. Teach me, educate me, please.
Oh, like to say greetings and blessings to all of you. And today is a World Peace and Prayer Day. It's been a long journey, and we as the First Nations or Indigenous people, we always did ceremonies at our sacred sites. But it wasn't until recently, 1978, the Freedom of Religion Act, that we are allowed to go into our state parks or places of which is originally is our sacred sites. And World Peace and Prayer Day, when I was very young, I had this like a way humbly a dream, and I was in 1966. I became a sacred bundle keeper for our people, the keeper of the sacred pipe, the 19th generation. Every generation is 100 years, and I'm the 19th one. So I, those of you that don't know about our Lakota, Nakota people, we are known as the Great Sioux Nation today, and we signed a treaty with the U.S. government. But before that, I grew up with our ceremony, and I never knew English. I was fluent Lakota speaker, just being raised in ceremony and knowing about our oral history, which is told through our way of life and ceremony. And that's what I've always stood on, and today, because of what is happening in the global world. So we came a long ways and still going to be faced with a lot of global disasters, the direction that we are going, and made a statement saying that man has gone too far. Human beings have gone too far today, and we need to unite spiritually. When I was shortly after the bundle keeper in 1966, I had a dream. And in that dream, I was still living at that place where I still live there today, where the bundle was brought to our people. Well, during that time was the reservation back in the 1800s. And where the bundle is today, that's where I grew up. Where my grandparents lived back in the 1800s till the early 1900s. And that's where I live in a log cabin and hauling water and hauling wood. And there's no electricity. We just had some of our log cabins were dirt floors, and we don't know outside world. But living on the reservation. So in there, shortly after that, we had our first electricity. But during that time, like we do a lot in ceremony, and we communicate with we call it supernatural in our way. But we call them Tronkan Oyate. Tron is birth, Kan is ancient. So when I was young, that's all I knew was knowing that Mother Earth is a spirit, and we live upon the earth as two-legged. So today, we tell stories like the way that our grandfathers told us about this spirit, about the earth. The first spirit was Iya. We call it Tronkan. Tron is birth and Kan is the ancient. That's what we call the stone or rock. The second spirit is Manewichoni, the water of life. So when these two came together, it was they brought hot and cold together, brought Waka, a sacred energy. Then as time went on, like it was a time of a lot of Ihunk and Ha Wachoyake, stories of long ago, and how they, like the Black Hills, we call heart of everything that is. And all the, they had a great council, all the animal nation had a great council. In that great council, they said that we're going to have a great race. And back then, because today the Black Hills was all rocks, there's no trees, but shapes like a heart. Then, so they had a great council, they had a race. They ran around the heart of everything that is. When the buffalo was leading, and here a magpie flew in front of the buffalo and said, "We won this for the two-legged." And the next day, they had a great council, and they put the two-legged in the middle, and one by one, the animal nation was coming. And they say that we'll help you in ceremony. You pray to us, we'll help you. So that all the animal nation came one by one to the people. And after the Great Council, no, it became a way of life. And but there's a lot of stories that relates to our health and well-being. And after the Great Race, they say that they set the boundaries to respect each other, not to cross any each other's boundary. So that was one of the old stories that was told among our people, and they talked about the star knowledge that Wichak Biwakan. Wichak Biwakan is a star knowledge that it's a vortex, and that's why our teepee is like that. The stars, the sun, the moons, and it's a reflection to the earth. And that's where we have the sacred sites. So the star formation is here on earth. And this is a place of prayer, of worship. So by 1970, when we had electricity, then I had a dream, because right away my father, he bought a black and white TV. And I thought I dreamt about that black and white TV. And my mother always watched As the World Turns. And I thought I was seeing that. This TV, black and white TV, somebody pointed towards that TV and opened up like a book. And there was people standing in a big circle. People I never met before. Then it closed. And then the earth was turning. Another part of the world, this person pointed, and it became, it opened up like a book. Another group of people, lots of people stand in a circle. Then I come to realize that there's a sacred fire in the middle. So this happened like 7 times in that dream. And then the very next morning, I told my father. He was sitting there smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee. And I told him last night I had a dream about this. And he told me that you don't make things happen. Our way is it's about spirit. Our way, things will come to be the way it should be. You pray about it. So that's all my life. But we're still having a hard time on the reservation in the 70s with the way we live. Life is on the reservation. We had the American Indian movement, and we have a lot of. I always thought about this dream, but 1980s. No, we had our people. No, we had the council, and said there's a call to United Nations in New York, 1993. A big gathering with all the elders. And being the bundle keeper, they asked me to go with them, so I did. But by that time, a lot of prophecies were coming about. Like the prophecy of the horseback ride to Wounded Knee, which Virgil Killstreet had a dream. But I, excuse me, but I am the spiritual leader of the Bigfoot ride back in the 80s. And I always think about this dream that I had when I was young about people standing in a circle and sacred fire in the middle. Then, excuse me, in the early 90s, after we went to Baghdad, 1990, to deliver a message about world peace, because we know that something was coming about, and it's going to affect the environment. By 1993, when we had at the excuse me, excuse me, kind of early for me, so. But what happened was like a white buffalo calf was born in Janesville, Wisconsin. And we did our ceremony and said, this is a white buffalo calf with black nose, black eyes, and black hooves. And this is a story that the spirit woman told us that what to watch for someday. When this happens, many white animals shall be born all over the world. And when this happens, it's going to affect all people. So the white animals being born, we have to, they're like Mother Earth is sick and has a fever, and they're the white animals will be a message to the world. So that was told to us in the ceremony. But living on the reservation, we have a hard time communicating to the world because the lack of communication. And it was until we started going back to our sacred site. We had a journey from Canada to a place called the sacred site in Wyoming. It looks like a wagon wheel. But I grew up knowing all of our sacred sites, that it's all connected in this world, the grid. And these that medicine wheel in Wyoming, the spokes of that wheel are connected to all the spiritual places. And I grew up listening to my my grandmother, because every morning she would watch that wall, and there's markings on that wall. And she said, this happened this time, this happened this time. So every morning there's a different story that relates to that wall. It's like a winter camp that I grew up with. And they told me that your hair is like a winter camp. You know, physically, mentally, and spiritually, that it's going to ingrain in you, your DNA. So being a spiritual person, doing ceremonies, we have no choice but to know our spiritual songs and prayers to every ceremony. And that's the way I grew up. Then later on, everything started to come to me that these sacred sites are like a church, like a cathedral. It's a place of worship. And that's where we put our relatives to Vision Quest. Because the Spirit chooses our bundle keepers. The Spirit chose me. So all my life, I was to be a bundle keeper for our people. But I met a lot of world leaders in my time and stood and prayed with a lot of spiritual people. But, I know that all of us, there's many nations upon the earth, but we all have our spiritual foundation. And after the white buffalo calf was born, when we journeyed back to, that was the first time that I made a statement saying that we are at the crossroads, either be faced with a lot of chaos, disasters, just from our relatives' eyes. We're going to see global changes, earthquakes, volcanoes where it never happened before. We're going to see a lot of sicknesses and viruses. We're going to see a lot of anger, hatred. We're going to see a lot of false prophets and false leaders. We'll be living a time when human beings have lost their spirit. No more honorable wars. It's going to be all about money. We are at the crossroads. Or we can unite spiritually, globally. Like today, World Peace and Prayer Day. Uniting all nations, all faiths, one prayer. And that statement, 1996, is still today. We are in those times right now. We went to Standing Rock and we prayed there that the pipeline is coming. It's going to affect our sacred land. And I told, as a spiritual leader of Standing Rock, I told the people that this is a peaceful protest or protecting the sacred. And there should be no anger, violence, no guns. We as a spiritual people, we got to stand on this. And I'm happy that today I can say that we tried hard to stand on this, the way that our people, as spiritual people, we went through a hard time. I say thank you to all the people that stood with us. But a lot of our sacred places have been abused in this world today. And coming here to Pipestone, Minnesota, the Pipestone quarries were the blood of our people. There's a pipestone. There's a oil pipeline is here. And if that breaks, it's going to affect our sacred pipes and quarries. So, well, today we're still having our time protecting the sacred. And that's why we are having a hard time with the environment, the sickness. I'll tell you a story about when we were at Stand Rock. We are at Stand Rock, then I told that story about Crazy Horse. Kashunka would go, no, he really believe in the sacred, not to take any pictures of himself, but he believed in that spirit, that how sacred it is. And he never want to sign the treaty because he said that the words that doesn't belong to us. We have to live with spirit. But Crazy Horse, no, he was very close to the sacred bundle that I take care of today. And after his last visit with the sacred bundle, he traveled towards the Black Hills. He had a dream. In that dream, it says that all nations were standing around the sacred tree. Well, a lot of people thought it was just this tree is just a tree. You know? The tree of life is within all of us. It's in our heart. All the blood vessels looks like a tree in the heart. From the satellite view, you look down at heart of everything that is. And today, when you put a red fluorescent light on, when you put a red fluorescent light on, then it's shapes like a heart.
The Black Hills.
The Black Hills.
The Black Hills.
All the rivers and creeks and streams looks like a tree. That's a new beginning. And when a child is born, every child is born with a heart. It's a tree. It's a new beginning. When you see it from the satellite view of the Turtle Island, which we call North America, all the rivers and creeks and streams looks like a tree. It goes into the Mississippi River and down towards New Orleans. You can see it on the map that looks like a tree. That's what Crazy Horse was talking about, the tree of life, which is the water. Someday people would all unite because the water is going to bring a lot of, even though it's a sacred water, it's going to affect our children. Someday they're going to be born with sickness. And that we see today. Children are being born sick, and young children are sick because of the water. We never, we're supposed to keep our duty or our responsibility to keep that water pure or sacred. So what happened is like today, we are still standing here trying to ask people like on this World Peace and Prayer Day to pray for the children, the water, life, because every generation we pray for leaders before us. But today, it's our responsibility as leaders of today. And the young ones, they're the young leaders that are coming up.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of like all of us know we go through the 4 seasons, and that's that Changleshka Waka, the sacred hoop
Mhm.
that we have to walk through every year. And it's a winter count in our hair or in that tree.
Mhm.
A tree has circles like that, and so is the everything that is. They're all part of this environment that changes the 4 seasons. So in the springtime, we do the ceremony, the welcoming, the thunder ceremony, March 21st. To welcome the thunder ceremony, we do a ceremony in the Black Hills so that the water, the rain will come and bless Mother Earth and give us good medicine. Then the June 21st is the longest day, but it's also in the middle, goes right in the middle of the sun.
Mhm.
It's so we got that in our spiritual way. There's a balance that we have to maintain in life with the 4 seasons here,
Mhm.
and then like the 4 seasons that we go through our prayers and songs and the medicine has to be there
Mhm.
because we are taking care of that environment
Mhm.
spiritually. So that's everybody's responsibility. So in our way, we get up every morning with a good mind.
Mhm.
Kawaching washte.
Mhm.
It's a prayer that we get up.
Mhm.
But today, people are getting up eh, with no money on their mind.
Mhm.
It's not good.
Mhm.
We can't have money on our mind when it's about spiritual.
Mhm.
Doesn't have nothing to do with it. So we as a spiritual people, we have to stay in a humble way. So since I was 12 years old, I stayed in a humble way. I don't use foul language. I don't carry a gun. Spiritual leaders cannot carry a gun.
Mhm. Mhm.
And we gotta always tell the people that this is a humble way of life here under the Creator that we have to maintain as a spiritual people, because all of us are part of this world, this environment. And now, like a long time ago, or the way our life is with living at teepees, the elders used to say there's no padlocks. There's because we as spiritual people, we can't, we're living under the Creator, and so no, there's no padlocks in our mind, and
Right.
so we have to be at peace with ourselves
Mhm.
before we can share. So every person has to, they're born, and then the mother nurses the baby. It's about love and compassion.
Mhm.
So in a lot of our words in English, we don't have no words like love. No, we show our love by living that life of love and compassion.
Mhm.
So the words in our Lakota language, there's no foul language because it's about how you show your life to live on the earth and to live in peace and to live freely with the environment. That all this is, they have feelings like us. The water, the trees, and that's why we say everything of spirit is sacred. So I'd like to have my wife come on and.
That's Paula. Yeah. So, how can we best support our Indigenous relations moving forward? Because we're all on Turtle Island together, right? We're here, and there's a lot of people who want to help. There's a lot of people who've done the work, right, of taking care of their hearts, and they feel really in alignment and full of peace, and they love you, and they love the water, and they love the mountains and the trees. And what's appropriate for us moving forward? Because some people are doing ceremony, and you know, from my understanding with ceremony, as in the old ways, is we don't take pictures during ceremony. We don't put it live. None of those things happen, right?
Yes.
So this is becoming an issue of division, and we're trying to bring unity, okay, to the table. So how, in your way, in your mind, in your heart, what's the best way to work together with all the other cultures that are like in love with the rising of our Indigenous relations? Because a lot of us know that the environment, Mother Earth, like all of the whole way of being is so beautiful. And like myself personally, I can't speak for other people, but myself personally, I love my planet. I love you. I love all of my relations, and I want to be the best relative possible on Turtle Island, right? Because we're all on Turtle Island together. We know how special this place is. So what is appropriate and not appropriate moving forward for people in ceremony? Should they broadcast it live on Facebook? I mean, should we be sharing with everybody so they understand what's going on, how to do it properly? I mean, how should we do this? Chief Looking Horse, tell me, what do we need? What do we got?
Yes, in our traditional way, like ceremony, we can't allow any pictures.
Okay.
And we have to keep the ceremony pure.
Okay.
And that's why we always use young girls in our ceremony to maintain that place, a sacred place.
A sacred place.
And so in that sacred altar, no, we can't even take pictures at all. Or the Sundance grounds, or the songs, the sacred songs can be sold or on with today modern world, the Facebook and all that. But when I grew up, we were just when we are going to a ceremony, we got to have a good mind. And but no matter where you are, that's our tradition, is to always offer loose tobacco. To just a pinch and offer it to Mother Earth, because the spirits, they in every tradition, there's to receive and to give. But you think you're alone in this world, but no, this is a very sacred life here, where everything's all connected. So no matter where you walk, there's a grass, the trees, and in fact, the elders always say, take off your shoes and stand upon the earth, and the sun, being connected from the sun to Mother Earth, and offer that tobacco, because then you can feel that change within yourself. And as time goes on, you're going to realize that you're walking this balance of life. But no, we can't put anything on Facebook or the media. No, we don't allow any filming with the ceremony.
It's supposed to be private and sacred, right? I mean,
It is private and sacred. These are things that you have to do on your own.
for yourself.
So,
You don't mind if, like, my heritage is a German Jew and Scottish, right? So
yeah,
for me, I mean, I love fire ceremony. I love loving on the water, you know. I've got sage that I use when I need to clear my energy or my home, you know, those kinds of things. It's okay for people to be utilizing tools when they understand how to use them according to you, correct? Yes? Or how?
yes,
How does
because
it work?
you
What do we
know
need to
that
know? Because I'll tell you, I'll preface this. I grew up in Saskatchewan, and there
yeah,
was 72 tribes in Saskatchewan
yeah,
before colonization happened, the colonialism happened, and all of the things we're all going to be ashamed of coming up in the future because, you know, it's not pretty what happened. So, but I was never invited to a ceremony. You know, I had my favorite schoolyard guardian is now the chief of the Gordon Lightfoot Reservation, and he took care of me when I was a girl. And he was the only person in my life who showed me what a true warrior with integrity was like. Honor, honor. Yes, that man embodied honor. It shone out of him. I didn't go to ceremony. I started going to ceremony when I was invited back in 2011, 12, and 13 with a group that I was working with that Shannon was a part of called Honoring the Circle. Very inclusive. I did my first sweat lodge, you know, those types of things, but they taught me, you know what I mean? They taught me
yes,
protocol, they taught me respect, and they helped me move into it in a good way. So what's your advice for people moving forward? Because of course, indigenous relatives rising, it has to happen to bring balance, right? Because there's been massacre and hurt and harm. So we have to get to that place where we love, care, and respect, right? And we get to that good place. So people are going
yeah,
to love. They have to love. They have to love our indigenous relations in order to right the wrongs, right? So what's
yes,
appropriate moving forward for everyone? What do you
yes.
think?
We speak about the healing, and the thing is, like, no matter what part of the world you go to, there's indigenous people or no
Yes.
people, and but you got to respect them.
Yes.
No, you got to give them tobacco. That's the old tradition. I always give tobacco to people from that territory.
Okay. Okay.
But from that territory, they got their own medicine.
Hmm.
That's what we all say. Uh, if they want to be healthy, and they have to go back to their own health and well-being, which is their medicine, their blood is used to,
Hmm.
and but they have their own way of life, and you have to respect them. So you you go there and ask them, and so all of us, we all pray. We can all pray together,
Hmm.
but in that ceremony is kind of different because if they want to uh, well, give them tobacco to them, and if it's up to them to take it or leave it, no?
Hmm.
Or if they take it, then you're welcome to. They'll show you how to be part of the ceremony, but just out of respect. No? So when we do uh, our ceremony, then people always bring tobacco or offer tobacco, and then they can pray with us, or but the problem is what we're faced with is exploitation. Uh,
Right.
People are trying to make money off our ceremonies.
Okay. And that's a no-no.
Yeah,
That's a no-no. Okay. And then, you know, there's a lot of people who are lost and confused because of Hollywood and what we've all been through, right? Like
yeah,
the whole thing happened to everyone, not just one culture. all cultures, right, have been robbed in some way of their ancestral knowledge and understanding who they are. And so as people are looking to find what's true, right? I mean, it's easy to get on board with our indigenous relatives. They want to take care of the earth, the water, the air, the soil, each other. It makes sense, right? It makes a lot of sense. So what do you have to tell people out there that are looking for who they are and how to best support something that makes sense for them? Shannon says, respect, learn, and follow protocol. If one is busy doing what I am supposed to be doing. So, I mean, we get it. Your message is very clear. Cultivate love inside of yourself so you can share it with others, right? I mean, that's your message in a nutshell. Like, I love myself, then I can take care of other people.
Yes.
What else do we need to know? I know a lot of people doing medicine wheel work,
Well,
all colors of the rainbow. I know a lot of people who are trying to figure out how to come together in a good way. So what do you think? I want to make sure that people know what to do moving forward when we leave this room. I want them to know what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. And Shannon and Ben and Raheen, if you have questions that are going to help facilitate this understanding, Chief Looking Horse, you're okay with this, right? You want people to know how to
yes.
be in a good way.
It's always good to talk and share feelings because a lot of people like maybe dances with wolves. Every person is spiritual, but people got to realize that a lot of our people are gone to boarding school and we're living that uh, time and like there's only a handful of people that are very strong in our tradition right now.
Gotcha.
And but you got to learn the proper way to address how to conduct yourself and how to be. So the mind, body, and spirit. That's what the elders look at. It's not. So what we are saying is that all of us we got to go directly to the source, and if you want to know, but do it in a proper way, because when you come to South Dakota, it's all about billboards of our people and our lifestyle and everything. But when you go to the Black Hills, everything that they talked about is our people. We have a hard time trying to like even sell our beadwork because they when you go to Black Hills, it's all from different country, and and people are looking for their spirit. So we're living in a time, and people are searching all over, like the elders always say. People are looking everywhere for their spirit, and they have that spirit within themselves. When they have to really pray from their heart and be connected. So when you come to that place, then it's a good start from there.
It's a good start, good place. All right, so coming from the heart, ceremony in private is best. Finding an elder to work with is a good thing, and being respectful, offering the tobacco, and if they want to work with you, they'll receive the tobacco, and if not, they won't, and you have to be okay with it. Okay, Shannon, do you have anything that you want to ask Chief Looking Horse?
First of all, I wish I had some. I could lift through the screen so I could give you some tobacco.
Me too.
And I wanna start by saying Chimigwach Pidamaya. Thank you for sharing. I listened, and I hope that I learned. Some things that I was thinking about was just kind of like, I was very blessed. I laughed about that black and white TV because I was right there with you. I remember when we got a TV, and and I grew up the same way, hauling water. In fact, I still haul water and heat with wood, and I do it because first of all, I'm a lazy person, and so it keeps me moving. And I need that kind of extra incentive. I live on my homelands. I say spirit is everywhere, but some places it whispers and some places it shouts. And I'm a little hard of hearing, so I got to live where it shouts. And so my homelands, I live in the middle of the boreal forest. These are my relatives. These are my teachers. And I too, I mean, I heard what you said about the great race on top of there. And I heard what you said about boundaries, about creating the boundaries. And I think that that was part of, you know, what are our boundaries and what are our responsibilities to protect our sacred spaces.
Right. And
some of that sacred space takes place in ceremony. And so we, you know, it's up to us to protect that. And we need to protect it. And there's a reason that we protect it, is because sometimes, just like anything else, when people get a little teeny bit of information, but they don't know the rest of it, then they act on that. And and it can create harm. And so that's why, you know, it's not meant to be, sometimes people misunderstand. It's not meant to exclude. It's meant to protect, so that things are done in a good way and can really benefit. And if people are busy doing what I'm supposed to be doing, then they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And in order to mend this sacred hoop of humanity, I need you to be you. I need you to follow the spirit within that has been that ancestral knowledge that has been given to you. And you may be further away from it because of the way that our life has been, right? But somewhere, you know. And when I think about, like, you know, the other thing that was said was about false prophets. We're in a time of false prophets. So how do you do that? You know, well, for me, two things. I pray, you know, I pray to be given guidance, to know if I'm listening to somebody and it doesn't ring true. You know, in your heart, you know, you watch not just what they say, but how do they live their life? Do they live their life in that humble way? Do they help people? Sometimes when that's why I have so much respect for this man that's sharing this space right now, because I understand that what he does is for the people. And I understand what that takes to do that. And I thank him, and I thank his half side for supporting him so that he can do these things, because that's that two sides. And even as we move forward, we need to remember those two sides. That's why they're called half sides. So I thank Paula in the background there, who is supporting in this very important way. Because they say when the women's hearts are on the ground, that's when it's all over. And I'm telling you, our hearts are close to the ground. They're close to the ground because of what's being done to our mother, what's being done to our waters, and what we're doing to each other. Right? So we need to protect all of that, because if it gets misused, if those ceremonies, that it's not fair to you, because, you know, what happens is you listen because you have that desire in you to do things in a good way, but you may be following that path. So just take the time to really think about that and be, you know in your heart when somebody speaks in a good way. Listen to that spirit, say those prayers, ask for that guidance, so that that dream that the chief had long ago about those circles coming right all over the place, those circles. And now it's the time of strengthen those circles so that those circles can come together. So I just want to thank you, and to thank Paula, and to know that in this little part of the world, up here in what used to be enemy territory, right? Ojibwe land, that in our ceremonies, we pray for you.
Yes.
We
pray for you and for your bundle.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I want to say that that's what the world that we are living in. Like they say that our people, Ojibwe or other people, they're fighter. They fought and they don't like each other, but long time ago, our people. When we go to sacred sites, and then our people invite everybody. You can't fight around the sacred site, or these are places of prayer. So when people come there, all different nations, we all have to sit and pray together. So that's the way. Is always we put everything aside and we pray together.
Appreciate that. Why doesn't Raheen say hello real quick, and Ben, and then should we pray, and then on the way out we'll have a prayer, and then we'll close up? Does that sound good to everybody? You think?
Yeah.
Chief Looking Horse, we can do a prayer for the children and youth, and the future generations.
Yeah. Maybe they have a question or
yeah.
Raheen?
Yay.
So I don't really have a question, but I really want to thank Heidi that she asked about what is inappropriate and what is appropriate, because I, even in this meeting, I've always been like, oh my God, if I say something, it's going to be inappropriate. What if it is like disrespectful, or what if it comes off as rude? So I still am thinking about it. What if this comes off as rude? But thank you so much for asking that, and thank you so much for asking Chief Looking Horse, answering Chief Looking Horse. It's such a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
She loves you. Raheen got to meet the Dalai Lama a couple of weeks ago, and she got to ask him some questions too. So she said you are a shining light like the Dalai Lama, and she's very happy to be here with you. So thanks for showing up for us today, Chief Looking Horse. We appreciate you. Yay.
Yeah, we met and we did work together. I mean, Dalai Lama, and then in fact he invited me to speak as one of his places in Boulder, Colorado. And I spoke first, and then he came on. But it's about all his work, and pretty much our work too, and I come to realize that when I was 12 years old, the elders told me that my grandmother, one of her last words was that the people don't straighten up, then he shall be the last bundle keeper. And that was 1966, and I was 12 years old. But I read, somebody sent a message to me that that's what basically the Dalai Lama said too. If the people don't straighten up, and bought the same words that I was saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, putting the heart in the center, bringing it back to peace for everybody. I appreciate every single person on this planet who's doing that right now because we need it so much. So, yeah,
Yes.
thank you. Ben, you want to talk to Chief Looking Horse?
Yeah, thank you, Heidi. And it's just in my heart and in my spirit to greet you, Chief Looking Horse, from these sacred lands of Australia, here with Shannon and Raheen and Heidi. I'm grateful for the opportunity to thank you for World Peace and Prayer Day that you created in 1996. And I've been waiting a long time to share with you that when you came in 2003 to the Grampians, just not far from these lands here in Victoria, when you came, I had the great privilege of being there with you as a young man, and it made a huge impression on me when you were in the middle of the circle and you were smoking the tobacco and you were calling on everyone to step into their leadership. And to step into their leadership, you were calling from a very deep heart, and it landed in me in such a powerful and life-changing way. And I just want to thank you, and I want you to know that World Peace and Prayer Day has been an incredible blessing and is an incredible blessing. So to be with you on this day, 18 years later to the day, to be able to be in your space and in your presence, Chief Arvol Looking Horse, and to thank you for your beautiful teaching and love, and for your wisdom and leadership and everything you have given to all of the children on Mother Earth, and to reflect back to you that, like many, I've answered that call as best I can, and have been walking the path since that day. And Unity Earth and World Unity Week and many other expressions of that now are a result of the call of stepping into that leadership. So thank you, and deep, deep, deep honor to you. And we are with you to continue to celebrate and commemorate World Peace and Prayer Day. All
Yes.
faiths, all nations, one together as one human family and one prayer united to the Creator. And it's just been in my spirit to greet you and to thank you, and to hold you up in love and blessing.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, we went there, then we went it's a very powerful place there, sacred site there. And then we went all over the world, and I think about like today, the Amazon people, we're in the heart of Amazon, and we asked to pray with us on this day, but they no, when we got to Amazon, no, they had no outside contact, and but what we are facing the front lines as our people are faced with, and that's what we told them, that these are prophecies that it's coming about. And back in the 70s, the weather was like still good. Probably the highest was in the 90s, the elders were saying. But today it's over we're expecting like 110, 115 degrees next month, and it's getting hotter. Everything's getting. We're in those times when that great changes has come upon our people and all people in this world. So when we talked about World Peace and Prayer Day, and we talked about the animals, the white animals, and the changes, global changes. Back we thought, people thought we're just trying to scare people, or not. Why are you saying this? But no, today we are right in the middle of everything that's going on. Mm-hmm. And they say that that dream, one of the dreams I had was this elderly grandma told me that there's something fast is coming, and it's coming fast, and it's going to affect all people. And this is here, and we thought it might be COVID, but it could be something else too. Mm-hmm. Because but in our way, we don't go by time or year, it's a message. And what is happening today, we like 1990 when 1993 went to the United Nations. We have a lot of elders, they delivered that message, but these elders are all gone today. Dion Shandua and Thomas Bianca, and the film. They filmed it, and all the messages was very clear. And our message is what the white buffalo was there. And we talked about global changes that is coming fast. And all these elders are gone. And now today, we're the spokesperson or leaders of our communities today.
Thank you for spending your time with us today. It's precious. Everyone, appreciate you all. Chief Looking Horse, so many blessings, and thank you so much. Will you send us out in a prayer for World Peace and Prayer Day? Can you send us out in prayer?
Yeah.
Yay.
I'd like to say a prayer in my language, because today, we need to get up every morning with a good mind and live our life fully with a good heart and good mind. That all of us spiritually, we're all connected to Mother Earth is a spirit, and everything of spirit, we must rely on the good spirit to help us, and good people to help us to heal Mother Earth and ourselves spiritually. So I want to say a prayer. Wakantaka ampetukile wacheke. Oyate maka akaneche wana wachekukala. Nuka hacha makasi tamania. Hacha wachekikapi yuka. Donache ekponki api donache kaki japi na uchunki japi. Donache wayaza kapi. Apetuke hina lawaste in laka hacha ate zanipikte. Hiwayo kitkapi na wichwani ni wicho zanikte. National Hoiwa. Oh, thank you.
Oh. Well, I thank all our relations for showing up in the best way they can moving forward on this day. And much love, so much love. Thank you to everyone. And thanks for tuning in. And please share out Chief Looking Horse's message to your friends and family so that they know this very simple, easy, peaceful, and loving way of being. And as we move forward with grace, we're going to make a world that works for all. That will be all there is. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Much gratitude.
Thank you, Heidi.
And thank you, Paula, for letting us have Chief Looking for a whole hour. Woohoo! You guys have a great day today. It's a big day for you. All right. Many blessings, everyone. You've been watching Chief Looking Horse World Peace and Prayer Day, International Children's Month, Global Wave of Love, and Day of Action, and World Unity Week. And love is in the house. We are here and we are rising. Thank you. I love you all. Bye-bye.